Hello everyone, Monday, June the 26th. It's actually the Dies Natalis of St. Josemaria Escrivá. Though it's not a universal feast, it is a feast in certain areas of the church and certainly within the prelature of Opus Dei. It's also 36 years ago I was ordained on this day. It was a Friday, and it was a hot Friday. It was warm. And it happened to also coincide with the Solemnity of the Sacred Heart. So I considered myself to have a liturgical celebration of my anniversary and also this chronological day, which of course is the more important one, the actual day on which I was ordained a priest by Archbishop James Francis Carney. So pray for me, and whoever listens to these things, I always pray in general that you will do so. And if you find any value in these, please, share them with others. I try to give some reflections or thoughts on the first reading and on the gospel just to help you in your prayer. So if you find that beneficial, please just share it with others. Okay, we are in the 12th week of Ordinary Time. This is the last week in June. It's like, whoa. Okay, so we're in Genesis chapter 12. The Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great so that you will be a blessing." I'm always amazed. I always tell people, read the readings, right? Read the whole reading. It is really your morning prayer if you do that. But I'm always amazed that Abram at this point is going to have a name change. One of the few people in Scripture who has a name change by God. And that's a significant thing. Same thing will happen with Peter. So Abram actually is told by God, go there. Just basically, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house, and I will show you that I will show you. Basically, I'm pointing at you, but I'm pointing in the direction. It's east where I'm pointing to. Like he's just saying go. He's not saying, I'm in Vancouver. He's not saying Vancouver, British Columbia. He's not saying go to Chilliwack or go to Calgary, Alberta. He's just saying go, and I'll show you where. Now Abraham has a lot of stuff. He's of a significant family, and he just does it. He goes. I mean, talk about faith, talk about trust, and he's a real model for us, for you and me. Because ask yourself, how often do I do that? Have I sensed, that I'm called to the priesthood? Do I go? If I sense that I'm called to marriage, am I, willing to die to myself for the good of another person? You may actually find the right person and it goes sour because you're not willing to die to yourself. Are you willing to, quote unquote, go? In other words, follow the Lord's will, no matter where it takes you. That's really the challenge for us. It's for you and for me, the challenge. And what we need to help other people with as well. Abraham is obviously our Blessed Mother in the future will be our model, but Abraham is our father in faith. He's the great model of trust. It should blow your mind. Over to the gospel. We're continuing to go through the Sermon on the Mount. We're in chapter 7 now. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not judge, that you may not be judged. For with the judgment you make, you will be judged, and the measure you give will be the measure you get." Okay, so this is often used against Christians, or even children against their parents. Don't judge me. You can't judge me. You're not supposed to judge me. We have to, of course, reflect on what the Lord is getting at. Do not judge, or you will, lest you be judged. It's important, first of all, that we know we have to judge actions. We have to judge certain actions. Otherwise, we cannot even have a legal system, right? So to say you can't judge me needs a bit of thought. You cannot, I cannot, or you cannot, and I cannot judge the state of someone's soul. I cannot judge the state of someone's moral worth. But I am obligated by my position of authority to judge certain actions. Parents are obligated by their position to have authority over their children to judge certain actions and to guide their children, not to be to dominate them or to be like dictators, but to be leaders and guides. We have to say that's correct and praise somebody for that. And that is not correct. It's not correct to kick your little brother. It's not correct to kick the cat or the dog. It's not right to steal. It's not right to commit certain actions that are contrary to God's will and that are sinful. That is not wrong. That is, in fact, to not do that is a dereliction of duty that, often comes from cowardice. We're not willing to have opposition in our life. Being a leader is not fun. There are wonderful aspects to it. Maybe there are points when it is fun, but many times it's not fun. That's the whole point. People want leadership, but they don't want the responsibility that goes with it and the hard decisions that have to be made. So be willing to be a leader, but do so with the love of Jesus Christ in your heart. And know that at times it's not going to be pleasant. Never judge the moral worth of a person, but do be willing to highlight actions that need correction. God bless you.